So I have a story here of this woman named Stephanie who is a YouTuber, and her YouTube channel has been pretty popular recently. And thanks to her YouTube channel, she's able to pay her bills at her 40-room French chateau.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Wait, is that like a French bed and breakfast?
So she actually bought this 15 years ago with her 2 ex-boyfriends.
2?
And
At the same time?
Yes.
What?
So
She's a mastermind.
Not at the same, like they weren't together at the same time. No. So one of the ex-boyfriends.
She has 2 ex-boyfriends that stuck
put
around
money
with
in.
friends and went into business with her.
Yeah, there's 3 partners
There's
on the paper.
simps.
Yeah, 3 partners on the paper.
Those
So
are like
she
a definition of a simp.
She purchased this with her then boyfriend, I believe. So that's one of the guys. And then the other guy, they had dated, I don't know when, I don't know their history, but at that time when they purchased the chateau, they were already exes, but they were best friends. And so
I love that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're her current boyfriend.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is, so like I said, they purchased the chateau 15 years ago. They've been working on it. She was running it as a bed and breakfast, but then the pandemic hit, so she had to close down her chateau. But the thing is, back in 2018, she participated in a UK reality show where they showcased Brits working on French chateaus that they purchased. So like restoring.
Is that a
common
thing?
thing?
Yeah.
There's enough people doing that you can have a reality TV show?
Yeah, so she was featured in that show, and she people really liked her. So then she decided to open up her own YouTube channel, and then thanks to that YouTube channel, it has helped her maintain her chateau.
Her business.
40-bedroom chateau.
Through the views, but she also has a Patreon, and I think she's getting $22,000 a month through her Patreon.
Whoa.
And the Patreon is like solely to put into the chateau to continue restoring it.
They're
It must be
right
fucking
now.
beautiful.
Well, yeah, right now. So she also keeps it working with volunteers, and she works with like her mom and those 2
It must be
ex-boyfriends.
like a historical thing, like it's fucking
Yeah, it's
nice
from the 16th century.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
she
It's like
actually purchased
keeping
it.
a castle.
Yeah, and she actually purchased it from a member of the family who had it in their family for all that time.
How much was it?
Yeah,
How
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know, but I do know that
Did you go on
said,
Redfin?
No, so I do know that she said that at that time that she was living in London, and so she had her own apartment, and so she said that her boyfriend at that time, which is now her ex-boyfriend, her best friend, had his own apartment too, and so for the cost of selling both apartments in London is what they put into the chateau.
Wow.
Like that's how much it was worth. So the way
I can't believe it was that cheap.
the way she says
Yeah, it's
it is
actually
that it was
relatively
really
cheap.
cheap. Yeah.
Wow.
And so she's been spending all these 15 years like working on it, and like I said, she did have it as a bed and breakfast in the past.
Okay.
And the interesting thing too is that like her boyfriend at that time when they signed, like they broke up, they're no longer together, but he still is involved with the chateau to the point where now his now wife and daughter
They all
are
work on it?
all working on it too. And then so she's like the new wife, or like the wife then, she decided like, oh, during the pandemic we're spending it at the chateau, like we're gonna be there, and it just seems like they just all have a really great relationship, and everyone
Interesting.
gets along really well, and they all have this like love for the chateau.
Oh yeah, that's what I see here. That says whenever the new wife and the ex see each other, they go, "Hello,
This is great.
good to see you. Yeah, wow, this is great.
Stupid.
What a good arrangement."
In a London accent.
Yeah.
No, so
Hello.
Is the chateau beautiful?
it's really pretty. I'll show you in a sec. So this is, oh wait, that's the wrong.
Wow,
So she's
that's
getting money out the ass, and it's not even open.
apparently. Well, yeah, because of her Patreon, dude. Sick.
That's sick.
Sick.
Yeah, and then
I,
so
I
also
opened an OnlyFans for my chateau.
Right?
stupid. No, so she also has volunteers living in the chateau, and like throughout all these years, she's always had volunteers like cycle through. So they'll trade their practice or expertise for room and board. So then like that's how she's able to work on the chateau a lot too. So this is Stephanie.
Oh wow.
Oh my god.
Wow, for the price of 2 apartments in
It's a
London.
fucking castle.
Yeah, 40 rooms.
Dude, somebody's like, "Fuck it, I'm dumping this piece of shit." It has a lot of spiders.
Fuck, you can have a fucking, what is that, a carriage?
Yeah, and then like here are some of the people that live there, and like
can't
her
believe
mom
this.
and her the new husband, and like yeah, and so this channel is called the Chateau Diaries, and I actually got sucked in yesterday. I was watching so many of her episodes because like it's just so interesting seeing like the entire like a tour of the chateau, for example. It's just like really heartwarming seeing how much she loves every inch of that place because she's put her heart and soul in every
Where's the
piece of
dungeon
that.
room?
You know why? Because princesses love castles and shit. That's why she was raised with that kind of mentality.
Too many Disney movies.
Toxic, actually.
No, actually,
That's
she
super
was.
toxic.
Let me
It's
tell
super
you.
wrong and toxic.
No, I can tell you how she was raised. So her
Okay.
parents, they purchased a home in Britain.
What, Britain wasn't
Oh, so
good
she
enough?
says that she grew up in a large home in England after her British father and French mother bought a large country estate and set about making it into a home for Alzheimer's patients. So her parents, who are both nurses, believed living in beautiful surroundings would be beneficial for the patients. So that's when the family moved into the attic and then placed the patients in the main house below. So she grew up with having a lot of people around her and stuff and in a big place. So she's really happy in this
Dude,
place.
that's hilarious. She's like, yeah, I got a castle for my patients, actually. Hope that's okay with you guys, okay?
Stupid.
The funny thing is like, yeah, but I live in an attic. It's like they live in the dungeon or the fucking jail of the castle, and they let everyone else live in like the rooms.
No, her house, her room, she calls it an apartment, and at the chateau, it's like really nice.
I'd call it an apartment too if it's
know what's
the
funny?
Grand Master bedroom or whatever.
Because when I picture France, right, like I picture it being like all cute and beautiful like that, and when I picture England, I picture Game of Thrones like
Rugged.
like stone and cold and dark and.
Yep.
Oh no, she says the chateau is hella cold. Like it's
Yeah.
so cold.
But it's beautiful looking, right? So like it looks warm
architecture.
and nice. It's different from like British style. So,
Imagine
like,
bringing like a Tinder hook up there.
I could see it.
I mean, you have experience. I don't know.
I think you guys would start fucking at the gate. Can't even make it to the chateau.
Yep.
I'd marry her.
Cold or not. So I've done a ton of research on Nicolas Cage shit. Yeah, so
Why?
he
He's
'cause
an
I'm a
interesting
degenerate.
fellow.
Also, because I did a whole podcast about it for me and Nikki's show, shit they don't
Oh,
tell you.
that's why.
Yeah,
That's a reason.
Right, but so he owns a castle, and the biggest thing about castles is that there's no fucking heating, so it's like a super pain in the ass.
And it costs a fuck ton to heat it.
ton, dude.
Yeah, a lot.
Because of the old masonry and all this other kind of
Yeah,
shit.
but people were used to that kind of weather back then. You know what I mean? Like they acclimated, right? And then they wore like what, thousands of layers, and you had a
true.
fireplace in every fucking
That's
room,
true, too.
and you had like 30 people just to run the fire. You know,
They had
like
the torches on every wall.
Yeah.
that's the ancient.
That's for life.
That's the Game of Thrones stuff you're talking
I
about.
heard even Buckingham Palace is still cold as fuck.
I heard it's cold as fuck too.
And I heard it's not even that great. When
It's
you're
all cold.
They can't install like a AC or a heater in there?
I think it's just the way that all these things were originally built.
They ain't got space.
It wasn't to facilitate. It was using super old world thinking too, but also not to facilitate like
It's just style, not.
airflow and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, because they used a lot of marble too, like, or at least in France. Because remember we went to the Palace of Versailles, like there was a lot of rooms that was just all marble and it was fucking cold in there. Like there's just zero.
But there's a lot of blankets. A lot of blankets.
Do you know the history of this shit? Where it's like this was a prince who lived here and all with his family or some shit. Jesus.
I
Sorry
know the
about
history of your cell phone not being on airplane
that. Oh,
mode.
dude, it's my father-in-law dunking on me because my coleslaw is fine.
Your father-in-law?
Answer it, take your time.
Shit, son.
Jeez.
He's a Rams fan. I can't wait to see what happens this weekend.
They didn't have bathrooms at the Palace of Versailles.
Yeah, they didn't.
No, back then it was just.
They had the chamber pots.
Oh yeah, they come out.
Oh, but the
shit in here,
history of
sir.
this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she actually, in her vlogs, she has a little intro about the chateau. So she says that it belonged to some family that was very prominent with like French royalty somehow, but they weren't French. I don't know the exact thing, but
She gets her facts
it
straight.
got to the point where, because I don't remember, I didn't save that information, but it got to the point where a family member of that family got invited by one of the kings to go greet Marie Antoinette.
Oh, wow.
So like they have like at least that historical
Of
tie.
let them eat cake fame.
It's like one of their family members was one time able to go pet the horse of the king.
Something like
Or something like a neighbor's neighbor, you know?
yeah.
He was the jester who got murdered.
Yeah, but I don't know. I got sucked in. But it's
That's
also
cool.
really cool to know that thanks to YouTube and and people that were fans, like in Patreon, yeah, like she was able to keep her chateau running.
Do you guys understand? Do you guys understand the royal system in like England? No. So like
Prince of Wales, blah blah blah.
you can become a lord.
Yeah.
If you own land there, like there's like
Still to this day?
yeah.
What? How do you
So-
own land?
But it
but if
depends
you-
on the land.
Yeah, well, if you own like a certain house, you can have a house of
lordship.
whatever, or you could transfer titles. And then there's families that are like prestigious or whatever. They have royal whatever, but they're like broke because they're like, I don't want this big ass fucking castle, man. You know how much taxes I gotta
So much
pay?
overhead, dude.
So they turn them into museums or whatever, or like they have homes and they're like, I don't want to fucking pay it. Like
But how does it work with like the Prince of Wales and like all this other goddamn
Prince
shit?
of Wales, I remember that's a title. So that's just whoever's next in line. Because I asked this question too. I was like, is it really a Prince of Welsh people?
Yeah.
But it's not. It's just a title for the king. So it's like a thing to call him.
Yeah, so being a lord is bullshit then.
Yeah, isn't that
It's just you have land.
Well, in the
No.
past it meant something.
It's
right?
like being a doctor, but like you're a psychologist.
But if someone comes up and I'm like, hey, what's up?
Complete fucking bullshit, Fred.
If I'm like Sir Steve and he's like, actually,
Yeah,
it's
you're
lord.
covered.
Like, can I slap him?
No, there's not. It's just something that's used to be a system that no one gives a fuck about anymore, but it still exists.
But it's people that actually go by Lord Elliot
yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people go by like Sir Elton John, for example, because he got knighted.
Well, he was
Like,
knighted though. That's different.
Yeah, no, right.
I want to get Elton fucking John too. I mean,
Master Williams.
Sean Connery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You just said his name weird. Is he used by Sir?
There's
So
no
he
Sir.
said his own
Sir
name,
Sean
dude.
Connery.
Sean
Sir.
Connery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know
If
more
someone
about
corrected
it,
me and is like, actually, it's Lord or Sir, I'm gonna slap them.
dude.
Like, you have
but
to.
we can.
if you were a lord or sir,
I'm gonna
would
be-
you-
No, respect me.
If it was Sir Paul McCartney and you're like, "What's up, Paul?" and he corrected you, would you slap
No,
Paul
but like Mr.
McCartney?
McCarthy. What's his name?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Paul.